All right, it's 6:30. Hello, everyone. Oh, we got some people coming in from the waiting room. Oh yeah, a couple people entering right now. Like I was just saying a moment ago, it is so amazing to be together with everyone on this Shabbat evening to celebrate recovery, to celebrate one another, to celebrate Shabbat, to celebrate being Jewish and in recovery and a 12-step program and that spirit of both and that is so much the fabric of all of what we do here in our wonderful community that is Beit Yeshuva. Our family is of misfits, as Harriet loves to say. So as we're together on Zoom, as the world is starting to open up, as that we're moving forward with different phases of this pandemic, thank God we have vaccines, thank God we have people coming back to health, and we are not done with this whole COVID-19 situation yet. So just wanted to share something that the residents have heard me say many times at this point. It's that I think that it's important for me, at least, to remember to be grateful for the technology that is Zoom. Sometimes it's, we're all in these little squares and it's different from real life. And sometimes the internet doesn't work and, there's so much to be irritated about, and it's so different from connecting face to face that sometimes I at least need to reconnect with gratitude. And so in my Torah study, as many of our residents know, something that I've been doing is saying a blessing over the wonders of creation. Every time we start Torah study on Zoom, to remember that and remind us and to remind myself that Zoom is a holy creation, of higher power through the holy minds, hearts, and hands of human beings. So blessed are you, God, sovereign of the universe, who creates all wonderful things in this world, including and not limited to Zoom, including and not limited to the ability to join together with one another. So with that, I welcome us all to this wonderful Shabbat service. Let us continue with Shalom Aleichem. Woo! Yes, loving it. Huge Yasher Koach and shout out to our Beit Yeshiva band, Thea, Nate, Jesse, Laura, Aaron, and Noam, Cantor Nate and Noam on vocals together. Yes, way cool. Absolutely. Wow. Just inspiring me to connect to my higher power in two really important ways that I know work for me, music and movement. So I encourage everyone to get up and dance wherever, or be in your chair and dance. Let's dance it out. Let's move along to Shiru Ladonai. Let's sing to our higher power.
Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shirul Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Basro Meom, Leom Shuato, Sapru Vegoim, Kevodo Bechol, Ha'ami Miflotav, Ki Gadol Adonai, Holal Meod, Norahu, Ve'al Kol Elohim. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 la
Woo! Singing a new song to God, singing a renewed song to God this week and every week. Thank you to our Beit Teshuva band. All right, now we are moving on to one of the most important parts of our service together, the part of the service where we give it tzedakah, where we get into the spirit of tzedakah, of righteousness. And this is an important way for us to connect to gratitude. My favorite teaching that I always say about tzedakah when I'm here with this community is that that everyone is obligated to give tzedakah, even if your income is 100% tzedakah, even if your income is 100% donations from other people, from charities, from the government. If you receive any money, you are obligated to take some of that money and give it to other people, because it's a way of being righteous. It's a way of recognizing that the things that we have don't just come from the effort that we put forth in the world. They come from the benefits that God gives us, because we are human beings and because God cares for us. Higher power is in our lives, helping us out in every moment. So it is time for tzedakah. It is time to give generously. The tzedakah information, I believe, will be there. It is in the chat. We have ways to donate on our website. We have a Venmo account at Beit-Teshuva. Those are both great ways to donate and to express your gratitude for this community, but also express that it's the right thing to do, to give of what we have to other people, because what we have isn't just of our own doing, it's because God is providing for us. So remember to give generously, give early, and give often, and we appreciate your support. Fund a lot of things that we need in our community, especially as we're looking towards opening back up, having more activities, having more things to do that are not just being in our rooms on Zoom. Definitely that takes financial support. So we appreciate all that you are giving, and thank you. And so we're moving on next to a key part of our Beit Teshuva service, of our community connection. It is Teshuva. This is where anyone who has something to say about their week, anyone who has something to say about the community, anyone who wants to make Teshuva, to express out loud that they're going to be different from now on because of something that they've learned. Now is the time to raise your electronic hand, and we will take turns speaking to ourselves, to each other, to the community, and to our higher power. So Tanya, you're up. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to give gratitude to something that I saw today, and I see every day at Beit Teshuva, whether it's on Zoom or previously in person. The men that I've come to know at Beit Teshuva have given me a gift, and I finally saw it today. They made themselves vulnerable and they've shared parts of their lives and stories with me that they don't have to, that make me see that men can be vulnerable and scared, and they can be strong and positive parts of my life and my community. And so I just want to give gratitude for the strong and vulnerable men that I've come to know at Beit Teshuvah. Thank you for your gift of honesty.
Oh, Tanya, thank you so much for that beautiful teshuvah. I feel like we've had some challenges lately in our society with masculinity. We've heard a lot about toxic masculinity, and we haven't heard a lot about healthy masculinity. So I love, Tanya, that you were reflecting that this community is a place for men to be healthy and strong in their masculinity, to show their strength through vulnerability, and to grow and change, because all people of all genders can be vulnerable and strong in their vulnerability and grow and change together through that openness. So thank you, Tanya, so much for your gratitude for that. Anyone else in our community want to speak on something that they want to make teshuvah for or express gratitude to the community? Go ahead and raise your electronic hand. Luis, you're up. So great to see you here.
Hi.
Hi.
It's nice to be back. I love all of you, and just want to thank Beshuva for having me back. I just want to say that I'm really sorry for leaving. I made a big mistake. I was running away from problems and have issues of codependency and issues of abandonment. But I'm so happy to be home, and I just want to say I'm so sorry for trampling on everyone's generosity, and thank you for everybody who's welcomed me back.
Oh, Luis, thank you so much for speaking to us tonight and sharing those thoughts and words and feelings. We are so glad you are home. We are so glad you are home safe. Oh, it's so good to have you as part of us again. And you're speaking about codependency. And one of the things that I've learned in my own recovery is that a pattern of codependence is withholding expressions of appreciation. And you are in recovery from that right now as you're expressing your appreciation for this community. So thank you. Thank you so much, Luis. Welcome back. Welcome home. All right, let's see who's up next. I think we have Paul Bergman, and then we'll have Thomas N, and then we'll have Sarah Jacobs.
Hi, everybody. Good Shabbos. Shout out to, nice to see you here, Rabbi Miriam. Good to see everybody. And a special shout out to our sister and sister-in-law, Eileen. Always good to share Friday night services with you. That's it.
Aw, thanks for the shout out. So great to see you, and so great to have a space for us to all connect together. You know, even though Zoom, like I was saying before, is very different than being in real life face-to-face, Zoom is a beautiful way of connecting and allows us to connect in ways that we otherwise it would be impossible to. So lots of gratitude for that, and thank you. All right, Thomas N, you're up.
Yeah, I got a little bit of both. I got teshuvah, you know, I had a hiccup this week, you know, and, you know, I fucked up and I'm admitting it. And, you know, and I've, you know, pulled people down like with me, you know, just by being an asshole. And I just want to apologize to each and everybody that I've, you know, either been rude to or, you know, I'm just, you know, taking out things that I did on everybody else. And I know that, you know, and especially like just right now, I want to apologize to Riley. I kind of argued with him, and, you know, he's a cool dude. I have nothing against him. It's just I let the best get to me. So I want to make teshuvah to him for sure. And then I'm actually leaving tomorrow. So this is my last meeting in the house, or last Shabbat in the house. So I just want to make gratitude for this place and for everybody that, you know, I've met here. You know, it has made me a better person. It may not look like it, but, you know, I feel like a better person. And you know, I want to thank, you know, Beit Teshuvah, the community, especially that ping pong table, and just the community's strong, you know. And I know I've been a piece of shit lately, but, you know, without you guys, I'd probably be, you know, lost. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Thomas. So great to hear from you. And please know that even if this is your last Shabbat in the house, it's not your last Shabbat as part of this community, that you can keep connecting even as you are making this transition in your where you're sleeping at night, but you don't have to make any transition in your heart about your belonging to us and with us. And this is always going to be your home. So thank you so much. All right, Sarah Jacobs, you're up.
Hi, Sarah, grateful member of this community. Hi, Rabbi. I just wanted to say how grateful and how proud I am that Luis made it back. And we just all wanted to say the same thing. Here.
Yeah, hi, I'm Devin. I'm a grateful member of this community. I'm just really grateful that Devin's back, that Luis is back, and I'm grateful for Beit Teshuva, and just welcome back, Luis. We love you.
Love you. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's a triple gratitude. That is so amazing. And again, welcome back, welcome home, Luis. Yay. All right, we've got some more gratitude coming along. Next up, we have Chaya. Go for it, Chaya.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I hate speaking in public, but I just want to first of all acknowledge Luis. I just know you're fighting really hard and really strong, and I appreciate that, and I gain strength from that. And then I also wanted to say that this is the best I've ever done in my life. And I just realized the other day that I've never kept down a job for as long as I've had my internship, and it's like such a miracle, and it's so rewarding, and I'm just eternally grateful for our Beit Teshuva family and our home.
Thank you so much, Chaya, for being a part of our community and making this home your home, and for sharing so much of your journey with us. You know, this is a place where miracles happen. This is a place where people who, you know, have not yet found what they're looking for in their life can have the miracle of finding whatever it is they're looking for. This ongoing growth and healing. Wherever we came from before, we can come together here and find that path forward, our passion, our purpose, our family, our home, our community. And you teach and embody that for so many of us. So thank you for being you. Thank you for being part of us. And good Shabbat. So great to have you here. Yay. Aw, happy times. I love this part. Thank you. All right, so let's go over to Samantha E and then over to Riley. Well, Samantha E, you are here somewhere, I hope. Oh, there you are. Go for it.
My computer froze. Hi, Samantha, grateful member of this community. So, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you, Rabbi Miriam, and I think it's just so fitting and it's just like I feel very connected right now. Last night I was just thinking about how grateful I was, like, to where I'm at today, and my son's 10-year birthday is coming up, and like planning for it and being excited for it and present for it is just like a miracle. And I was just thinking about how a little over a year ago at Beit Teshuva, you know, I very much like was coming into myself. I was getting sober and I really had lost myself, and a lot of my behaviors were based off how I perceived myself, which was very negatively. I just like, it was almost self-harm the way I acted subconsciously. But I just was really feeling a lot of gratitude for Beit Teshuva and appreciation for like seeing through that and allowing and forgiving that and just being accepting of it and letting me like fall and pick myself up. And like, if it hadn't been for that, I don't think I'd be where I'm at today. And I really did not think I would get here. I'm over 19 months sober, and I didn't ever think it would happen again. I thought I was totally lost, and that you know, my son would be better off without me, basically. So I'm just so beyond grateful. And I'm so happy that you're here, Rabbi Miriam, because it's just, you know why, it's fitting. But okay, thank you so much and love you all.
Oh, love you, Samantha E. It is so great to see you and to reconnect with you. And happy birthday to your lovely son. Oh my gosh. Yes, and what you're saying about, you know, the way you're behaving, connecting to the way that you're seeing yourself. And as we all know, sometimes in that early sobriety and those dark places that we get into, we don't see our own holiness, you know, and that's one of the blessings of this community, is that we can see the holiness in one another and be like, tap, tap. Yes, you're a holy soul. You really are. And it's like, eventually, it takes time sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, I am. Yes. Ah, so proud of you. So glad to see you. Thank you. Mwah. All right, over to Riley.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you to Thomas for making Shuva. Sorry, there's an echo.
Do we have you back, Riley? Can we try again? The whoopa whoopa whoopa. Oh, okay. So seems like situation with the roommate's computer, but Riley said just wanted to say thank you to Thomas, and we appreciate it, and we are giving extra grace and patience for navigating the Zoomiverse together, which is sometimes a little bit bumpy. But that's one of the reasons why the chat is amazing, because we can continue to express ourselves. I want to give a moment of gratitude to the community for sharing such beautiful stories, such beautiful insights, for sharing yourselves, and for having that openness and vulnerability that allows us to really connect, because that's what we're really looking for, right? Is connection with one another. And it's the vulnerability that gets us there. So with that, let us move on to Mizmor Shir. Let's hear it from the band.
מזמור שיר ביום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ביום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי יעזור, עלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי יעזור, ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון Shabbat. Tov leodot Adonai, uzamer leshimcha elyon, uzamer leshimcha elyon.
Woo! Wow, that was next level. Oh my goodness. Thea, Nate, Jesse, Laura, Aaron. Oh, you all have such great energy. Thank you so much for sharing yourselves with us through your amazing music. I am like fired up right now. Bring it in. Oh, so good. It is time to welcome our new residents. We have two new members of our residential community to welcome and celebrate this evening. We have Luis S. and we have Mickey R. I think Mickey R or Mickey VR. It is so great to have both of you as part of our family of misfits of this crazy community. I think that, you know, from everything that you've already heard tonight in this service, you know that this is a place where healing is possible. This is a place where we have a chance to open up and be ourselves in a way that we've never been before in our lives. And that allows us to stay in life, to stay alive, to stay part of the solution, to stay useful to the world. And that's the amazing opportunity that I feel like deep down in our soul, we're all looking for, even when we're out there drinking, using, criminal activity, codependent relationships, addictions of all types. When we're in that place, what we really want to do is be useful to ourselves in the world, and we just can't find out how. But this place is a place where we can learn how. Sometimes it's not even a matter of wanting to do better. We want to do better, we just don't know how to do better. But from each other in this community, from our treatment team, from our roommates, from the people in our groups, from ourselves, when we make mistakes, we can learn how to do better. We can learn how to do things that we could never do before, but we always wanted to do. We can learn and prove to ourselves that we're capable of change and there's a different way. But it's not necessarily going to happen quickly, and it's not necessarily going to be easy. And so in those moments when it's difficult, there's one thing that you have to remember to do, and that is to hold on. That's to hold on. So keep on holding on. Oh, there we are. There it is.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Don't let go.
Yes, hold on. And furthermore, don't let go. That's it. That's it right there. All right. Oh man, thank you all for being here and together. So grateful for you all. Let's move on to our next prayer, our next musical experience, Lecha Dodi, when we welcome the Sabbath into our lives this evening.
Lecha Dodi, Krakala, Pene Shabbat, Lekabela, Shamor v'Zachor v'Dibor Echad Ishmiyanu, El HaMeochad Adonai Echad, O Shemo Echad v'Shemo Tiferet, Ve'elitila, Lecha Dodi, Krakala, Pene Shabbat, Lekabela, Likrat Shabbat, Lecho Benel Chakiko, Ha'aberacha Merosh Mikedem, Nehesucha, Sof Ma'aseh, B'machshava Tila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Lekabela, Hitori, Kiva Ore, Kumi, Uri, Shir Daberi Kebod Adonai, Alaik Nigla, Lecha Dodi, Krakala, Pnei Shabbat, Lekabela, Boi v'Shalom Ateret Bat Agam Besimcha, ובצולתו אמונה העם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה
Yes. Yes. I just saw in the chat, and I have to highlight, who's that crazy dude on bass tonight? Jesse is on fire. It's his hair. It's his hair. The power is in the hair. This is a strong Jewish tradition that the power is in the hair. So just want to give a shout out to the hair bringing us strength spiritually, musically. It's just amazing. The whole band is rocking tonight. Kathy, I could not have said it better. So amazing. Thank you. All right, now that we have welcomed Shabbat, it is time to light the candles and bless the Shabbat candles. Who is doing that for us this evening? Missy, go for it. Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshano b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik lehadlik shel Shabbat.
Amen. Amen. Yasher Koach to Missy for lighting the Shabbat candles. Yasher Koach to Cantor Nate for leading us in that blessing. When we light the Shabbat candles, this is the moment when Shabbat officially begins. You know, we look at Shabbat beginning by where the sun is in the sky and it getting dark outside. But when it comes to personally, when Shabbat personally begins for us, it's the moment when we light the candles, or when we're there for the lighting of the Shabbat candles. And so here we are, we've arrived. And the whole purpose of lighting Shabbat candles is to bring peace into the home. When we create a light, it allows ourselves to be seen, and it allows us to see one another. And when we bring that light into the home of seeing ourselves, seeing each other authentically for who we are, that's what brings peace. So here we are. We are ready for the Baruch Hu, the official call to prayer. Cancer Nate.
Lai la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 yai la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 yai la lai 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 yai lai 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Vaed.
Praised be God, praised be the power of our own understanding, the higher power of our own understanding forever and ever. It is time now that we've been officially called to prayer to proclaim our belief in a singular higher power, a singular God, which is something that makes the Jewish religion pioneering in the world understanding of spirituality. So we're going to recite the Shema and the V'ahavta. And in the V'ahavta, we focus on God's boundless love, and we connect to that source of unconditional love that is always there. I know that in my recovery, seeking unconditional love has been a huge theme. And I imagine I am not alone in that there are many in the community that looking for unconditional love is a quest that is a huge part of what brings them into recovery. And in the V'ahavta, when we recite this prayer, we remind ourselves that God is this source of unconditional love. And when we could learn to connect to a higher power of our own understanding, we can receive that unconditional love we've always sought. Taking that intention, let's continue with the Shema and the V'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam Beshivtecha bevetecha uvlechtecha baderech ushokbecha uvkumecha ukshatam leod hayadecha vehayu letotafot bein einecha uktavtam amezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
Huge shout out to Cancer Nate for beautifully leading us in those blessings, and huge shout out to our technology people behind the scenes and putting the text of those prayers on top of the video image that we're watching. You know, I've thought a lot in this service tonight about how Zoom makes things different, and this is a way that Zoom makes things different in such an amazing and beautiful, positive way, allowing us to see and interact with the Hebrew and the English translation, to connect to the text and the meaning behind the prayers that we're saying in a way that would be very different if we were in person. So special gratitude for that this evening. All right, so we've reached that point in the service where we're going to talk for a minute and study for a minute this week's Parsha. This week's Parsha is Shlach Lecha. There is a lot going on in this week's Parsha. For those of you that have studied the Parsha on your own this week, or who've participated in Torah study with our community, you know that there is a lot of powerful stuff going on. This is an important part of our narrative as a Jewish people. I want to share a commentary to start us off tonight from this translation of the Torah, the Eitz Chaim, which is the one that we use in our community. One of my favorite sources of commentary because it's very accessible. It's in English. We can follow it pretty easily, and there's a lot in there. So we're in this commentary, we're reading that the events of this Parsha are crucial in the Torah narrative. This Parsha is a crucial piece of the narrative of the Jewish people because this Parsha explains why it takes 40 years for the Jewish people to reach the promised land. And I love this, that the commentary states, we've already seen certain undesirable character traits emerge among the Israelites. I'm like, undesirable character traits, what might that have to do with recovery, right? What undesirable character traits might the Israelites the community have struggled with that we have in common with them, right? Grumbling about food and living conditions. Something that from time to time we see in our lovely community where the living conditions are actually quite nice and the food is made with a lot of care and love and is nutritious and delicious, but we find ways to complain, right? A nostalgia for the less complicated life of being a slave in Egypt. This is something that is very connected to the experience of recovery. You know, one thing I was saying earlier tonight to our new residents is that we are all capable of change. We can learn how to live differently, but it's not easy. Sometimes we want to go back to that simpler way of life, and we want run screaming in the opposite direction for no other reason than that's simpler. I know how to do that. This, I don't know how to do that yet, and I'm not sure if I can learn, and that's one of the reasons why we have to come together in community and strengthen one another in those difficult moments. And so this is what the Israelite community was struggling with, wandering through the desert, saying, we're headed to the promised land. God told us that this was going to be a great place, but we haven't seen it ourselves yet. Maybe we should just go back to Egypt. So that whole part about not seeing the promised land ourselves yet, well, in this week's Parsha, the Jewish people get a first taste of the promised land when they send 12 people ahead of the rest of the community to scout things out, to see what the promised land is like. And so our commentary says about that, this will culminate in a massive failure of nerve, or a massive success of anxiety and fear when God summons Israel to attack and conquer the promised land. The people do not believe in their own ability to do that, and by implication, do not believe in God's ability to ensure their victory. So this is key. The people do not believe in their own abilities, and by implication, don't believe in God's ability to help them succeed. This piece about how it's a struggle to believe in ourselves. I feel like that's something that everyone can relate to from time to time, and especially making that journey from active addiction to long-term sobriety and recovery. This is something that happens a lot, where we ask the question, can we believe in ourselves? But I want to remind us tonight, then we're saying, can I believe in myself? That actually connects to our belief in a higher power, and a loving higher power that wants us to be healthy, that wants us to be free from addiction, that believes in our ability to learn, and it has given us the power to make choices and always grow and change. There's this beautiful and beautifully painful line in this week's Parsha where the scouts who come back from the promised land and they're consumed with their fear, they say, we looked like grasshoppers to ourselves. And so that's how we must have looked to the people who are already in the promised land. And we heard us share from Samantha E. so beautifully earlier this evening about when we perceive ourselves in a negative way, we assume that other people are also perceiving us in this negative way. And we kind of lose track of the reality of what's actually happening, of what we're actually doing, of what we actually look like to others, because we're seeing ourselves as grasshoppers. We're seeing ourselves as smaller than we are. Now, how do we change that, right? How do we change that? One of the key teachings of recovery is that we build self-esteem by doing esteemable acts. When in our addiction, we were lying, cheating, stealing, drinking, using. In sobriety, we do acts of service. We keep our promises. We show up to our appointments. We apologize for our mistakes, and we grow and change. Those are just some examples of esteemable acts that we can do that build our self-esteem. So I think that here's the interesting question. This process of building self-esteem by doing esteemable acts doesn't really work the same exact way for some people. Some people have this thing, and this is something that I relate to, of doing esteemable acts until we're blue in the face, doing like 5 esteemable acts every moment. We're racking up the esteemable acts like it's our job, and we still don't feel good about ourselves. We still feel like we're worthless. We still feel like we have nothing to contribute to the world, even though we've got proof that that's not the case. We've got proof that we contribute to the world. And so this is something that I've talked to my sponsor about, the difference between self-esteem and self-worth. So what's the difference between self-esteem and self-worth? Self-esteem is based on who you are and what you do in the world. When you're doing those esteemable acts, when you're in the world being useful, that brings us self-esteem. But self-worth is about our innate human value. Dr. Donna Bevanley, who teaches about codependency, one of the teachers that I've learned the most from, phrases it as, you have value because you breathe. You have value because you breathe. That's all you have to do. That's where your innate human value comes from the fact that you're alive. And Jewish tradition uses the words Elohai neshama shenatata bi tzohorahi. God, the soul that you have given me is pure. And the word neshama connects to the word for breath. So it's all about having this value from the fact that we're alive, and we know we're alive when we're breathing. That's where our self-worth comes from. You don't need to do things to have an enormous amount of value. You're a human being. You're not a human doing. And that's why self-worth is the foundation that self-esteem is built upon. They're both important though. Self-worth and self-esteem are both important. As we're all holy souls, we all have the opportunity to do these esteemable acts and to be useful in the world. Because if we just connect to our self-worth, if we say, okay, I have value because I breathe and I'm going to leave it at that. You want a cup of coffee? You know, like there's a limit to that as well. You know, when we do acts that are useful to the world, are useful to others and useful to ourselves, then we can build our self-esteem. And that, you know, circles back to not seeing ourselves as grasshoppers and instead seeing ourselves accurately, which is incredibly hard to do, to see ourselves accurately. And that's what humility is all about, seeing ourselves accurately. And self-esteem and self-worth give us the opportunity to do that. Now, circling back to the commentary from the beginning, when we have self-worth, when we do those esteemable acts and build our self-esteem, when we believe in ourselves, that's how we start believing in our higher power. We're like, oh, right, you know, I'm doing these things in the world, I'm doing things for the world, I'm useful to the world, and higher power gave us the world. Wow, I'm a part of something greater than myself. I can give to others, and that feels amazing. I can be useful, I can give, I can be a source of light and love and blessing to others. And it's that satisfaction that, you know, the side of the building, it says, recover your passion, discover your purpose. That's the way that we are useful to the world in a unique way that makes us useful to ourselves. And that's where the magic happens. And when we do this, this is how we get out of our own personal version of wandering in the wilderness. You know, the Jewish people spent 40 years wandering in the wilderness. Hopefully we can spend less than 40 years in our own lives wandering in the wilderness, but however long it takes, right? However long it takes, it's all about making it out of that lost wilderness of addiction and into that promised land of recovery. So today, may we all be blessed that this community and that this Shabbat can be a gateway to the promised land of recovery, of sobriety, of community, and of connection. So with that, I'd love to turn it over to the band for an original song to have all of these messages sink in on a musical level.
Hold steady, child. I know things have been kinda wild. You've been shaky on this balance beam of life. Trouble's been knocking on your door. It's been begging you for more. Read between the lines that are written on your face. When you feel like all your faith is gone and nothing's gonna change, just wait, 'cause things will get better. Just wait, release your yesterday. 'Cause we hold on so tight to this tangled web we weave. Just wait, wait for better days. Dancing in the rain, a twisted love affair with pain, as if escape's a luxury. What will it take for you to breathe? 'Cause you've been on this path too long for you to hide from everyone. This isn't how life's supposed to be. When you feel like all your faith is gone and nothing's gonna change, when your world is painted black and white and your hope starts to fade, just wait, 'cause things will get better. hold on so tight to this tangled web we weave. Just wait. If you have all of the answers, then the questions aren't right. If you're looking for the darkness, then you'll never find the light. But when dawn breaks, it's a new day, and you have a chance to find your way to better days, to better days. Just wait, 'cause things will get better. Just wait, release your yesterdays, 'cause we hold on so tight to the tangled web we weave. Just wait.
Oh, wow. So beautiful. Thea, Nate, Jesse, Laura, Aaron, and Phil. Phil and Cantor Nate on vocals. So beautiful. If you have all the answers, then you're not asking the right questions. What a powerful truth to remind ourselves of as we continue the ongoing healing journey, the peeling the onion of recovery. Yashar Koach, great job. Thank you. All right, so this is the moment in the service when we usually celebrate sober birthdays, but this week we do not have any sober birthdays in our community. And I just want to say that this means that there's more sober birthdays coming up. We have 2 new residents in our community this evening, and that means that we have, God willing, 2 more sober birthdays that we're looking ahead to celebrating, and looking forward to that moment in time when we can all come together and celebrate some sober birthdays. I wanted to also highlight that the holiday of Rosh Chodesh, the new month, is coming up, and Rabbi Carey has been doing an amazing job in our community of highlighting this holiday, which we celebrate every 30 days, every new month. And what we do is to celebrate this holiday, which is going to happen on Wednesday night next week. We think about where were we 30 days ago, and where do we want to be 30 days from now? You know, in those, we celebrate birthdays on the year basis at this part of the service, but in terms of those first 30 days of sobriety, thinking about where, the first months of sobriety, the first year of sobriety, where were we 30 days ago, and where do we want to be in 30 days? Looking at that time, that time marker as something that can inspire us to reflect on how far we've come and what direction we want to lead ourselves in, and seek out opportunities to be led and guided in the next month. So celebrating time, marking time, sober birthdays, and the new month. All right, with that, we are going to bring ourselves to Oseh Shalom, to ask higher power to grant us some peace.
Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'achol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'achol Yisrael. Hu say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Broken and alone, and this house ain't a home. Call up God on the phone, now I say shalom. The problems pot up quick, always thought that I was slick. Always thought I had the answers, didn't know that I was sick. Picked up a book and it was blue, didn't know what else to do. Got a sponsor and solution, realized I had no clue. Working on these steps, gotta find out what is next. Don't need to overthink it, got myself a basic text. The God of my understanding is love and always there. His presence is always with me as long as I'm aware. I used to stare at the abyss, steady waiting to fall apart. Now I got a new beginning, I got me a brand new start. Sometimes I often wonder how I got back to LA. Just a lost Jewish tweaker, did I mention that I'm gay? They got him at the shoe, they accept me who I am, teaching me to be a man, the definition of a bird.
יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Woo! As Mickey just said in the chat, epic. Max, that was epic. Thank you. Yes, Yasher Koach. That was amazing. Epic. That's it right there. Whew. Huge shout out to the Beit Teshuva band and to Max for bringing us that sense of peace in only the way Beit Teshuva brings us that sense of peace. I love it. All right, the next thing that we are going to do, recognizing that higher power can bring us peace in our lives, we also pray to God, to our higher power, for healing. For those of us in our lives that are in need of healing, it is time for the Mishaberach prayer.
Mishaberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We pray for all those in need of healing. We pray for all of those that we know of that are in pain. We pray for all of those we don't know of who are in pain. We pray for refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, healing of body, healing of spirit, healing of mind. And we say, Amen. At this point in our service, we recite the Kaddish Yatom, and we remember the yartzites of those in our community who passed away 1 year ago. So I will first read the names of those yartzites, the anniversary of the loss that we are observing this evening. Sydney Sossin, Rose Ruderman, Philip Melnick, Art Makovsky, Eva Konheim, Hank Leeds, Ethel Levin, Cortland Fiddler, Hyman Bass, Joshua Lowenthal, Nathan Levine, Stephen Handelman, Ralph Bruslin, Simon Newman, Anna Balber, Marvin Levine, Evelyn Snyder, Ari Feder, Dylan Galper, and David Samuelson. We also remember those in our community that have passed away in the last year. We are in the year of mourning for David Amder, Paul Applebaum, Aharon Ben Devora, Joshua Bloom, Stanley Cohen, William Cohen, Stephanie Coleman, Arnold Familian, Melissa Gallagher, Arsenio Garcia, Ryan Copald, Ned Lerman, Sylvia Makta, Danielle Molina, Diana Newman, Ari Osteen, Amy Palubicki, Medina Perez, Stephen Pollock, Ida Portillo, Philip Sakartoff, Mark Schillen, Sam Spitz, Jeff Tamayo, Al Unger, Zach Woolman, and Steve Zimmer. Anyone else that we are remembering this evening, please put their names in the chat while we take a moment of silence to bring them into our hearts and minds. And after that moment of silence, we will recite the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uviumechon uv'chay d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam u'olmei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. We wish comfort to those who are mourning the loss of a loved one this evening. And we wish you comfort in the arms of this healing community. And may the memories of your loved ones always be for a blessing. All right. So next we are going to move to some Shabbat announcements. We have some important announcements going on in our community. So the Beit Teshuvah thrift store update. The Beit Teshuvah thrift store is a place that I enjoy shopping. I don't know about you. This is a cornerstone of our community. And here is the announcement. While we are extremely grateful for the generous support of our community, we are temporarily, only temporarily, but temporarily not accepting donations of any kind. This means clothes, this means furniture, this means pianos, this means cars. We cannot accept donations of any kind at the moment because we are preparing for our relocation at a location that will soon be announced. We will sure to keep you updated when this changes, and we, as always, we appreciate your support. For the most updated information about the thrift store, please visit btsthriftstore.com. btsthriftstore.com for the most updated information about our thrift store. All right, next thing on the announcements list, we have the social distance. This is usually we do the LA Marathon. If you haven't noticed, there's a pandemic that's been changing things. And so we're doing our own race, the social distance. And this race will be next Sunday. So yeah, not this coming Sunday, but a week from this coming Sunday, June 13th. Contact Jillian for more information. Huge shout out and thanks to all who generously donated. And please, for those who have not donated yet, consider making a donation to support our runners. All right, next announcement, the Zoom Family Education and Support Group. Join us, you are so welcome. Join us in our weekly groups with founder Harriet Rosetto, our founder and clinical director, and altogether amazing woman, amazing person, brilliant mind. You definitely want to learn with her if you have not before. This is on Wednesdays from 6 to 7:15 p.m. and this is the Family Education and Support Group. Okay, also because we are still wearing masks, branded Beit Teshuvah masks are available for purchase on our website. It's a $10 donation. Keep yourself safe and keep others safe in style and support our Beit Teshuva community. And last, but certainly not least, challah is back for pre-order. I definitely got some questions about this today. So for those who are wondering, go to www.bakedteshuva.org, B-A-K-E-D, Baked Teshuva, to order challah, which is an incredibly important part of Shabbat. So that is our announcements for this evening. And speaking of challah, it is time for Kiddush and Mosi to conclude our service. So back to Cantor Nate and Laura.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Thank you to the band and everyone doing tech, and thank you, Rabbi Miriam. Good Shabbos, everyone.